जिंदगी मिलके बिताएंगे, हाल दिल गा के सुनाएंगे। हम तो सात रंग है, ये जहां रंगी बनाएंगे। गुड इवनिंग फ्रेंड्स। हम सब अपने अपने घर में बंद है, थैंक्स टू द क्वारंटीन। बट ये एक अच्छा मौका है, इट्स अ गुड टाइम फॉर पीपल टू जस्ट think and spend more time with oneself and catch up on things which we always miss out. तो आज ये मौका मिला है, let me just try and take this small opportunity to take you to a small collection of mine. It's my home library. It's a small one. I have a slightly bigger one in way back home in Calcutta. So I mean, our family has always been the ones who read and kept on reading, including my cousin brothers, my father, my uncles, maternal uncles. So they are much more knowledgeable and much more well read than me. So I try in my own way to just keep, updated and try to gain more knowledge from the books. Books are one's best friends, it said. तो चलो शुरू करते हैं. So just to start with, it's a collection of both English and Bengali books. So one of my favorites, I'll start with the person whom I kind of idolized and grew up with. It's Jim Corbett. So I have this omnibus that includes the man-eaters of Humayun, Temple Tiger, Jungle Lore, and My India. So I think Jim Corbett was one person who has captured India like very few in different views, including its wildlife, its conservation efforts. And if today we have seen the rise in the number of tigers or reforestation in some places, so much more credit has to be given to the likes of Jim Corbett and to an extent Kenneth Anderson as well. So I do have his book. I have a small collection of Kenneth Anderson's book of Call of the Man-Eater, The Tiger Roars, and different others. Okay, so यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं. So this is another book of mine gifted to by Anna Madam. It's written by her father as musings of a military maverick, Lieutenant General Joginder Sharma. It tells it's a fascinating book. It's a fascinating story of life in the military and how he served the nation and his memories associated with it. Okay, then the next would be our Ernest Hemingway, Papa Hemingway, the complete short stories. We have all read about the books of the death of Francis Macomber and the hills of Kilimanjaro and others. Next would be childhood books of hunting, which all kids love to. It's a short collection of books in Bengali. That's one thing. Then there's Victor Hugo, Les Miserables. Sherlock Holmes. What can be said more about him? The iconic detective, 221 Baker Street, and Arthur Conan Doyle, like no one else is written about him. Then another book would be, which I'm trying to read it right now, if the time permits. It's called The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. Which brings us to think now it's a good time to realize actually, because most of us in our own humdrum and daily life tend to forget, but we should never forget that human beings are not the only species on earth, and we must gradually, though a lot of things have been done in a positive and constructive manner, we need to realize and understand that we must respect nature. We must respect nature, utilize its resources very wisely, not waste, not put to waste anything. So because when nature has its way of getting back at us, and it becomes slightly problematic. Then all these things, money, materialism, and glamour, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, then there's another book of Tales of Mystery and Terror by Conan Doyle. Then another author I respect a lot, that's Hussein Zaidi. He has covered the underworld of Mumbai like very few have done. And another book I really loved, but I don't have it's in collection, that's Suketu Mehta's Maximum City. I read it and it was captured very beautifully. I think films have also been made on it, not too aware of it. Then Dongri to Dubai, Mafia Queens of Bombay. And another book, I don't have it right now. Or do I have it? I don't know. Yeah, that's Shantaram. Gregory Robert Shantaram. Tale of an Australian who escaped his jail in way back home. He came to Mumbai, got involved into this. He got totally. So in many ways, I think he's more Indian than most of us. He knows so much and he loves India so much about it. Okay, then there's a book of Operation Blue Star, written by General Brar. General Brar it's like a first-person account of what transpired during those stages. Then there is Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express, Sherlock Holmes again, The Cossacks by Leo Tolstoy, and Strategic Thinking, Dostoevsky, Brother Karamazov, or let's say Karamazov Brothers, one of the greatest novels of all time, I feel. Then there is Stephen Hawking's Brief History of Time, Relativity by Einstein. Then one of our favorite detectives, Byomkesh Bakshi, Sharadindu Bandyopadhyay has written that and captured like anything. Another person who I find very fascinating to read and understand is Richard Feynman. So he was like one of the, let's say, brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. He's a genius when it comes to science and physics. So I read and follow him a bit. Okay, so these are like small tokens of appreciation. That's okay. I mean, we should not, when we trying to help society, we should not be thinking much about ourselves. Just whether somebody rewards or not rewards is a different ballgame. But that should not prevent us from doing what we feel or say our heart goes into. Oh, I have Shantaram. Then there's Mark Twain's complete short stories. And surely you're joking, Mr. Feynman. Sunny Days for our cricket lovers and for those who have followed cricket very passionately for us. So, as Sunil Gavaskar, we owe a lot to Sunil Gavaskar, because not only was he like the greatest of all batsmen, but he has also written fantastically well, and we all read from him even today. Okay, then what do we have? Then there is a segment of science, spirituality. So I have the Holy Bible, then I have the Holy Quran, gifted to me by a friend of mine, and of course there is Gita, and its different interpretations of how things are and how things we interpret. And there's a comparison of science and religion. How there's like again a vast topic, a wide topic. So we'll talk about it maybe some later day. So these are the few books. So I try and keep myself occupied, or like say when there's nothing substantial, I feel like a kind of a void within myself. So books are the best company to go with other things. And so out of information, knowledge and wisdom, I always believe that wisdom is something, information is very like kind of flowing everywhere every now and then. So even scrolling down the mobile phone also gives us a lot of information, and these are important as well, like to be knowing what's happening in and around us and what's going to happen in future. This information is great, but again, information, what do we derive out of it? And second part would be knowledge, and and somebody who's wise. So I mean, wisdom is always the third and the highest pedestal of all these things. So that's about it. That's a small sneak peek of today. So maybe we'll meet another time. जिंदगी रही तो मिलते रहेंगे. जिंदगी का क्या भरोसा है. But again, having said that, जब तक जी रहा हूँ मरा नहीं. जब मर गया तो मैं ही नहीं. I paraphrase this line from Anand. तो यही है. I mean, we live in the present and we can see what we can do to better our future and take care of people or say everything around us in the best possible manner. तो खुश रहिए, आबाद रहिए, अपना ख्याल रखिए, सबका टेक वेरी गुड केयर ऑफ योर सेल्व्स एंड योर फैमिली एंड नॉट ओनली फैमिली अबाउट अदर्स ऑल्सो. थिंक ऑफ जो हम लोग से काफ़ी जो इनके पास में बेसिक चीज़ें नहीं है. In our own ways, it doesn't have to be very kind of well publicized or on Twitter or Facebook or something. अपने हिसाब से हम लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं तो अच्छी बात है. I mean, we don't owe it to anybody. But again, ये जिसे करना है कीजिए. ख्याल रखिए अपना. तब तक गुड नाइट. बाय.